They're fickle.
Yo, 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 what's poppin'? All my peeps, it is I, your host with the most, Renaissance man, who always thinks he can, and your champion of the peeps, Patty Pitts, back once again in the Yard of Streams for another edition of the Raw Rewind, brought to you by Pitts and Sara's Wrestling Show, where we take no nights off. And it's not just me, Patty P, here in the Yard Streams. I'm joined, as always, by the best of the West. You can't forget about Sarah Marshall. What's poppin', girl?
Hey, yo.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going.
It's another day.
It is. It's a tiring day.
Yeah, we didn't talk about this off camera, which crazy, but yeah, we're basically living in polar opposites right now when it comes to weather, because you're sitting pretty in, I would say, 95 degree heat? Right?
It's getting close to 90.
Okay.
Right now it is 80, but
yeah,
we're gonna reach a high.
And sunny, I'm assuming?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be 90 by Sunday.
Oh, jeez. So. Sun shining. There's no moisture on the ground.
I would gladly.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare say you would gladly switch.
I would.
Because we have 3 feet of snow.
I'm jealous. I love
it.
I love
you know, I understand the situation, so I can understand what you mean. But goddamn, don't say that to a Bostonian right now. No, do not say I'm jealous of you. Because the past weekend, after I got home from Limitless and after the USA won gold, it has done nothing but snow in New England. Yeah. To the point where we're breaking records from the 78 blizzard. So,
yeah.
Props to us.
I mean, I'm jealous just because, like, well, I've never liked summer. So, like, even as a child, like, I hated summer. I mean, you like summer when you're younger because, you know, you're not in school. But I've just always hated being hot. Like, I don't enjoy being hot. So I hate that I live in a place that summer weather begins in February or March. And then it's like 90 degrees at least until November. So
you're getting my parents for the first time have brought up conversations about being snowbirds. And I'm not arguing against them by any means. Like, it just makes zero sense for them to. I would love to
house to yourself for a few months.
It would be. I also would like to get a place of my own and whatnot. Yeah. Because I need a bigger space for recording. Mm-hmm. Like, I was walking around down here and, like, I would love, like, the ideal situation would be, like, a walk back from, like, a desk recording, like what I have right here, you know, and then go over to the gaming and then eventual streaming and whatnot on the bigger TVs. Because I like streaming right from the system. I know it's probably not how you get the views and make the cash, but it's a lot easier that way. And for my nonsense purposes, what I have an idea with, it's a lot easier that way. But that's the idea. Like, there, I would like to have my own place in that way. Wow. But yeah, it's snowing here, really bad.
Jelly.
So, yeah. What else? So we got a lot to talk about for Monday Night Raw, or do we have a lot to talk about? Because a lot of people online, Sarah, are saying that it was a very boring Raw. I know my peeps that I do love over at Wrestle Talk asked if the tagline for their video was lack of creativity, of some, like, lacking creativity. You know, and I have my thoughts. I don't think they're completely wrong, but let's just take the show for what it was. This was not supposed to be a go-home show for Raw, or a go-home show for Elimination Chamber. That was sacrificed to be a tribute show for AJ Styles, and guess what? I believe that it was the right decision.
I don't think that's the problem that people have. I think it's everything other than what they did for AJ that people were, like, not happy with. You know? because like I think outside of the qualifiers, I mean, I think that also just took a hit, you know, because of
That's
like
what I mean. Like, what are
what
you going to
happened
complain
in the
about with the
men's.
show?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I do think that we're getting to a point where people are just frustrated, and so it doesn't take much for them to get frustrated more or to like uh talk badly about WWE or the shows. So it's
Yeah.
like you're at that point where like everything that just doesn't go right in your mind is a problem, and so people are expressing that. But I also think that you know there is a fair argument to be made that last night's show wasn't the greatest. You know, I think people saying
No.
worst ever, I think is being you know they're being dramatic, but I don't think they're wrong in being like, oh, last night wasn't great, because like I even turned it off, like, and I didn't even mean that disrespectfully, but I was like, I can catch AJ's retirement on YouTube, you know, like
You
I
know, that's
it's
okay. Yeah.
stuff I need to do, so like I can catch it later. It wasn't something that I was dying to see. Um so and I didn't watch the women's main event either, but I kind of knew how that was
Crazy.
going to happen too. So I was like, I'll watch it later, you know.
Well, okay. I want to talk about you tuning out for the AJ ceremony. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel that a lot of wrestling fans who watch WWE, they're gonna do exactly what you do or just did, and they're going to go watch something else. You know, they're gonna go
I didn't watch
watch
anything
in
else.
a well,
I
you
started
can
working.
well yeah. My point
Yeah.
is that they're gonna go and watch an indie. They're gonna go watch an a like TNA. They're gonna go do something else to get their fix of wrestling
Mhm.
because what you said, they wanted to watch a match. They're not into watching AJ Styles retirement, which to them I shame on them because I really believe that the AJ Styles tribute was very well done,
Mhm.
you know, and I the whole show itself, like I watch now, and I'm not gonna go too into the AJ stuff now because we have topics to hit. But the show itself, like when you watch now, yes, it's not the same as it was 2 years ago when Triple H took over. It's absolutely plateaued, and we weaknesses are seen now. But when you watch now compared to what we sat through for so long, it's
Mhm.
such a breath of fresh air. Like last night, like when I was watching it, I wanted to critique the quick camera cut, and then as soon as I wanted to make the critique, it was oh no, they're staying with the shot. Okay, like I already forgot about my critique. It's over.
Mhm.
You know, I'm already over because it seems that we want to critique every little detail.
Well, that's
When
why I said I
yeah,
feel like we're kind of at that point with where some people are at that point where it's like everything that happens that they don't like, it's like annoying them, and so they have to go online and voice it. And I think it's just because there is a large collective of WWE fans online that are expressing their frustration every single day, and it feels like it's at a high right now because we're so close
mm-hmm,
to WrestleMania and people had higher expectations of what the show was going to be. And then you're seeing all these reports about how they've sold 17,000 less tickets at this point now as they did last year, and like, what is this, and now another person's injured and blah blah blah. So it's like it's just easy to add on to it. And so I think
mm-hmm.
that people are just doing that because we also have to remember, like, as loud as the fans are online, and they're not wrong like most of the time. Obviously, I would say it's a split. Like sometimes their criticism is fair and sometimes it's over the top ridiculous, but
Mm-hmm.
they're also not the majority. Like there are people who are still going to the shows and they're liking stuff that at home are like, what is this? The people in the audience are liking it. So I don't know. I think it's just the easy thing to do right now is just to like express your frustration and feel like you're actually
It's
being heard because other people are also frustrated.
absolutely is. The phrase "misery loves company"
Yeah.
could not be more accurate to describe the WWE fan tribalism going
Yeah.
on right now, and it was very evident in last night's Raw, which we're gonna break it down and talk a little about it all. All right, we're going to talk about every segment. Not every segment, but you know what? That's why you're here. Let's hear from the peeps who are here. What is up, David? What's going on to Nathaniel? I'm excited for baseball too. As you can see, I got my Sox jersey on here. I'm giving the Red Sox one more try. I'm giving it one more try this year. All right, because
good luck.
I love baseball.
Yeah,
I love watching it.
You know who I miss? Kike Hernandez.
Well, he's closer to you now, technically.
I know. I am obsessed with him. I'm so sad that he's a happily married man.
Aren't they all, Sarah? Aren't all the good ones just all taken already?
Yeah.
Oh,
so sad.
I'm excited for baseball season. Oh, you're going to see the Mariners play opening day. Good shit. Let us know how it all.
Do you live in Seattle or like near Seattle?
He has to.
I'm assuming because I lived in Washington for 10 years, so that's why I was like, I didn't even know that you lived there. I lived outside of Seattle for 10 years, so.
It is Sarah Lore. If you did not know, now you know.
It is, yeah.
Sophia, what is poppin'? Loved meeting you guys as always, and that's not only to Sophia. Anyone who is a friend of the show, a Pits Fit, I would say. I'm trying to get that going in 2026.
I haven't met anybody, but I also don't really go to wrestling shows. But
you gotta start going, Sarah, because
they're soon. Oh no, they're in Boston soon. I think they were here not that long ago.
You gotta go to indie shows in Arizona. Raw's in Boston, March 23rd, I think. But no, you gotta go to the indie scene. I was actually talking about this. I forget if it was in the house show or with just someone at a show that I love. I feel like I love the indie scene now in New England, and I feel that I know a good amount of the major players, we'll say. But that's only New England, Sarah. Like, I have no idea who's the big stars around you in the Arizona, Southwest area. I don't know that region really. Actually, I can't even think of them right now. But I know everyone in New England. I mean, from Anthony Green, DJ Powers, Gabby Forza, that main event at Limitless. Go check out my last video on Instagram at Patty Pitts, where I posted like a mashup of the main event. Dijak and Gabby Forza. I can use it. Let's go.
You just made the list.
You didn't make this list. You made my favorites list for matches of 2026. You guys made it absolutely hell of a match. And that's just New England. That's Maine. So go check out your local indies. Support the indies. Yes, let's go. Nathaniel does live in Seattle. Let's go.
Very cool.
Very cool. Very cool. So Sarah, what you want to talk about? What was pretty cool? Well, I mean, this was pretty cool. You guys starting.
This was so.
This is pretty cool up your alley.
This was so funny. So of course they have to start off Raw. It's fine. There's moments like this.
They have to start off Raw by giving the tribute to their hometown.
It's I just hate the corniness factor of it. It's just like, ew. It's like we are here to celebrate. It's like, shut the fuck up. We know.
Feelings.
Yeah. So Cole and Graves were saying tonight is for AJ Styles, and Gunther interrupts and is like, get out of the ring. We don't give a shit. Okay. I don't care. You guys should not be celebrating this guy. I made him tap out. I beat him. I ended his career. And I think the best part was when Adam Pearce was coming out and he was pulling the Cody Rhodes, where you remember when Cody was obsessed with being like, enough. And then Adam Pearce is doing it. And Gunther just keeps talking.
Didn't care.
I loved that. He was like, and then I was confused. I'm like, I couldn't tell if Piers legitimately thought that Gunther couldn't hear him, because he turned around at one moment and was like, God damn it. And thought that the mic wasn't working. And I'm like, no, Gunther doesn't give a fuck, dude. He's just going to keep talking over you. And I'm so glad that he did that, because we see this kind of stuff happen all the time in wrestling, where someone's in the ring and like someone comes out and interrupts them, and the person in the ring just stops talking. It's like, no, you have a microphone, like you can still be heard just because they're coming out. So I love that he did that, and then he was like, I'm leaving, and he's like, I'm leaving because I want to leave, not because you want me to leave. And I was like, yes. So he gets attacked by Dragon Lee, which I'm sorry, it's another week and I just don't care. I don't want to see Dragon Lee versus Gunther.
Why not, Sarah? Sarah, why not? Why don't you want to see that?
I just don't feel like it's going to be that good of a match, or if it is, I just also need them to have Gunther win. So I guess I don't care.
No shit, Gunther's going to win, Sarah, but you don't want
qualifier. So
yeah, but it made sense why he lost the qualifier.
So I saw a lot of people were taking this moment again since Dragon Lee got involved in the qualifier last week. People were like, are you good with this for the Mania match, which would be Ray versus Gunther? But how do we get from point A to point B? You know, like, I understand it's like, oh, they're two masked men, they must be friends, I guess. But like,
I mean, they're luchador. Oh no, because Rey Mysterio once said that the future of Lucha Libre is Dragon Lee.
I know, but how do we get from Gunther? Like, does Gunther take out Dragon Lee and then Ray comes to his defense, and that's how we get a Mania match? Or like, how do we get from Gunther versus Dragon Lee to Gunther versus Ray, if that really is what it's going to be at Mania?
Because Dragon Lee is going to get the absolute shit kicked out of him.
Okay. Poor Dragon.
I'm sorry. This is how it's going to happen. And then he's going to get that Jimmy Uso-esque treatment from Gunther. And Ray is going to want to defend his honor. And the only way he knows how is when you want to defend someone's honor, you have to put something up against it. That just unlocks something. But he's going to...
I still don't love that. Like... I guess, like, because a lot of people, of course, are like, the only person that can retire Ray is Dom. And I'm still hoping that if it is that Gunther retires Ray at Mania, I still hope that we'll get the Ray versus Dom thing in like AAA or something. Because if they do the whole stipulation of career versus whatever, I guess, I don't know.
Career versus hair.
Yeah, I don't know. That it'll still just be a focus of my WWE career, you know, because that doesn't, I mean, saying your entire career would cover AAA, but if he's just like my WWE career, well, that doesn't mean that you can't go to AAA still. So I think that's something that they'll have to consider, because I think people would be really upset about that happening, because people were upset with it being, you know, Gunther taking or ending AJ Styles. But I think that AJ knew this whole time, like all throughout 2025, that it was going to be his last year, you know? So I think when we look back on 2025 and everything that AJ did, a lot of that is going to be like, oh, that was his retirement run. So he didn't care about, oh, I'm ending it against Gunther at the Rumble, you know? But I think people would be more upset if Ray ended because of Gunther and not Dom.
That would be, yeah.
But it's funny because, like, I don't want to see Dom versus Ray for the 12th time. But it feels like...
But do you, though? I feel like you do.
Well,
I feel like they could wrestle all the time, and I just wouldn't care.
Well, I would in that capacity, but otherwise I'm like, I don't really care to see it again. I mean...
All right. Valid.
I don't know. But we'll see. Obviously, they're trying to set something up or something. And then we get to the men's qualifying for the Elimination Chamber, which happened at the beginning of the show too, with Cody only coming out to be like, I'm from Atlanta, so that he could introduce Jay. That was it.
Yeah, I did want... Which, okay, he's going to introduce Jay, and then Jay comes out...
I know.
With his brother, his tag team champion... brother, it's just me, Oos.
But here, I'm gonna defend him in this instance, which is very rare. But this week I wasn't as mad about it because it was a singles match. So it was
all right, I'll give it to you there. But like,
yeah, no, I know.
Everyone's seeing it.
Yes,
I'm happy everyone else getting it.
Like my boss that used to be like, a big Jay fan or whatever, or at least a Jay tolerator. Like he didn't hate him the way that I did. When I met with him last week, he was like, "So how does it feel to be right about Jay Uso?" And I was like, "I'm never
Sarah's like,
wrong."
bitch.
No,
Sarah's like, bitch. I've been right for 2 years.
What I said was, "I'm never wrong. I'm just early." And I was
You're just a little premature. You're just a little premature.
I just predict things too soon, and then I just have to wait until it finally happens.
So, you know what they used to call those people back in Salem? They used to call them witches.
I know.
It's tough.
Anyway.
Happy you're alive. Happy you're alive today. Thanks.
So, we had Jay Uso versus Bronson Reed versus El Grande Americano, which I didn't even realize it was the
OG El Grande Americano.
I didn't realize it was the Gable version, so I was a little bit disappointed about that, but that's fine. And I think that everybody knew based off of who's already in the chamber that Bronson was going to win this match, but unfortunately, mid-match, trying to break up a pin, he tore his bicep, and it was like immediate. Like you just knew. You were like, "Fuck, dude!" Like. I was so disappointed with this because I was looking forward to seeing him in this match, and I felt like he was such a good addition to who they have in there. And I was like, it's all baby faces besides Trick, which I feel like Trick is on the cusp of being a good guy and a bad guy. Like he's supposed to be a bad guy.
No, he's hated. He's a chicken shit heel.
Well, but
he's a chicken shit.
People love him.
Because people love chicken shit heels.
But he's doing lots of media too, so that's what I'm saying. Like. They like him, but
yeah, they love him. They love him.
So they had to rework the match, and Jay Uso wins. And what I think is funny about this, right? Like, I was kind of bummed about that because I was like, why not just put El Grande Americano in this match? Like Gable in the Elimination Chamber, brother, that would be cool, especially compared to Jay. But Jay did not look happy. Like Jay does not want to be in the chamber. I don't think he wants to be in there.
No, I don't think he does either.
I know they had to call it on the fly, but you got to do what you got to do. But like he was not happy about winning that match, and I was like, I don't blame him because he's like, I'm gonna get fucked up on Saturday.
No, he's not happy about being in it. He's tag team champ. He's back with his brother. He thought he just was gonna be in this match because it's a match on Raw. That's what you do when you're Jey Uso. Mm-hmm. And now he's stuck in the chamber with Trick Williams, Cody Rhodes,
Randy, LA Knight.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They're going to kill my boy.
Well, and then I'm like, okay, so it was supposed to be Bronson Reed. And that was confirmed by Dirt Sheets. Whether or not it's true, that's up to you. I believe it was true. But I do wonder if they'll maybe try to rework something. Like, will Jay get beat up and he can't be in the chamber and someone else?
That's what I'm thinking. That's where my mind's going. Like, if he's really unhappy, and let's be fair, I don't think Jey Uso is going to win the chamber. I don't think he is.
Yeah.
So why not give some lore or some talk around the chamber with an attack, Yeah. And the attack could be from a tag team to set up a tag team. Like, you're in an age of wrestling where you can fucking do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. And some fans, like, as long as there is a payoff, then it's worth doing.
Yeah. It's almost too bad that Finn has a match that night, because, like, that would have been a sick way for him to get in. But,
Or, hey. No. Hey, listen.
Or he loses and then goes in the chamber.
There you go.
Yeah. That depends, though, because that's a lot. Like, him going against CM Punk, I mean, that's going to take... It also depends on the way that they book the show. Because they could have Punk versus Finn as the main event.
I have a crazy booking idea.
Oh, goodness.
Finn loses in the match cleanly. All right, and then we'll just say cleanly or just little nonsense. So pissed off. Jay's doing the yeet. We let him all love. And then Finn, boom, over the back of the head. Steps in the chamber. Circa Edge, 2010, 11, tomato, potato. Goes in, wins the chamber.
And then faces Drew.
And, well, no. We got to have Drew lose. Because of Jacob Fatu and Cody. Triple threat them three at Mania. This is a year where Cody Rhodes does not have to be in the title at WrestleMania. He just needs to be on the card and in an exciting match.
Yeah, no, and I think that's what I feel like that's what's going to happen. They've hinted way too much at Jacob versus Cody to like not do it. You know, I feel like they have to. Like you can't wait until after Mania to do that. And if they want Jacob to be this big name player in the company, then you got to put him against a guy like Cody Rhodes and at a big show like WrestleMania. But I want to bring we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later.
What? Okay, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk later.
Yeah, I'll try to remember. But speaking of WrestleMania, we knew that Liv Morgan was going to be coming into Raw and finally making her decision on who she would be facing at WrestleMania. She brought both Stephanie out and Jade, and she kind of tricked you for a second. I got a little bit nervous that she wasn't going to pick Stephanie simply because of who's in the chamber. I was like, oh, I could see them wanting one or two of these girls to face Stephanie instead. So when she started to do that whole thing, I was like, girl, like I was like yelling at the TV. I was like, don't do it. So I'm very happy that she chose Stephanie. I love what they are doing with this feud. I love Dominic being so involved in it because I feel we got kind of tired of that throughout the Judgment Day years when Rhea was in there and Damian. It felt like there was nothing that Rhea was involved in that Dominic wasn't involved in, but he's been kind of hands off more with Liv. And so I like that he's actually involved in this. And it's really only because of the language barrier. I mean, granted, obviously Stephanie can speak English, but it's her second language, so she's not perfect. So I love that he's in it and he's just like being the translator. And so I'm really excited to see what they do
like that
now.
Element.
I know. I want to see what they do now from between now and Mania. Like I think it's going to be so good.
There is a lot they can do with this because of the Dom factor. The Dom plays such a key role in this. I mean, for the obvious of translating, but he could be that guy that does it for Liv so she, wins at Mania. But my mind's going to the talk of around if he would turn on Liv to side with Stephanie. No. I don't personally think that's going to happen. Here's the thing. I know how Twitter works. I know how the social media, like all these people, they're going to see it or they're going to post it. I mean, they're going to post it. It would be cool in a nonsense world, but it doesn't make sense at all. And Stephanie hates Dom.
Well, and I think that, I don't know. I think I like Stephanie as a babyface. Like I think Liv and Dom together as heels are so good. Like don't change that. Because I think if we're going to see massive changes within the Judgment Day, to me it looks more like Dom is going to stay a heel and Finn is going to turn babyface. I think that is more likely, and I think you got to keep Liv and Dom together, so they've got to be heels. They're too good at it. It's too easy for people to hate them.
They are heat magnets. They are heat magnets. Anytime
and that is going to work really well for Stephanie because, we've talked about how she has yet to face like a legitimate hateable heel since she became champion. And although people love Liv, they also don't love listening to her. And it only gets worse because then they have to listen to Dom. So it's like it's easy for them to then take on all of that heat and for people to cheer Stephanie. So I think that it's going to work out well. I saw Nathaniel say, "Do I want Liv to win?" I do want Liv to win. I hope she does. Like Stephanie has time, you know what I mean? But I feel like at this point, like I don't know. I think Liv has a lot of stories that she can continue as champion. You know, we could get Liv versus Rhea. Like, let's do that. Liv versus Io. Like, there's plenty of girls that she can go against, but there's not a lot of heels, like top women heels on Raw for Stephanie to work with right now. So I think it would probably be better if a heel was the champion, like someone like Liv. I don't know. I want to see it, but
I don't want to see Stephanie lose.
You don't, or you do?
No, I don't. I love her. I love Stephanie.
She still has what, like,
she's great.
Like a little less than 2 months to be champion. So
I know, but
you'll
I
get
just
over it.
Liv. I will get over it because then Liv and Dom are gonna just be so entertaining. Yeah. Speaking of entertaining, this ruled.
I saw mixed reactions to this, but
yeah, you're going to. People are gonna say this was awful.
Yeah, so Natty versus Maxine part 3627 happened. And it ended in approximately 2 minutes. And at first Maxine did such a good job about selling that hit on the turnbuckle, like the outside, that I legitimately thought something was wrong. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? We might have another injury. Like, I was like, he did.
She was not moving.
I know, that's what made
at all.
Yeah, I was like, can you move a little, like just a little.
I mean,
give us a sign.
To be fair, though, great job, great sell.
Yes.
I mean, that's a girl who her training is paying off. You know, so I'm fine with that. I feel the biggest issues that people are having with this was that it was a squash.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
I mean, I don't hate squash matches, like, in general. I think it just depends on the context and the timing. Because I think that they have a purpose. Like, I hate the traditional squash matches of, like, when you're debuting somebody and they are having squash matches against no-namers for 3 weeks. Like, I hate that. I mean, I understand the point, but it's like, you already know what's going to happen before it happens. And so that's why I don't like it. But, like, in this instance, you don't know what's going to happen because, like, Maxine fucking beat Becky Lynch for the title.
She was the IC champion. You never know.
But I think in this context, they're just trying to make Maxine a more sympathetic character. And then, of course, they're just trying to build Natty up to be this, like, powerhouse, scary fighter, because they're really having to try to do a complete 180 with Natty more than trying to make Maxine likable. You know, it's like, people didn't have real feelings about Natty, but she has an entire history of being Natalya. And if they're trying to erase that, this helps, I feel like.
This storyline right now is, I don't want to say centered around Natty, but it's more, the light is more geared towards Natty right now because we know who Maxine is. We know her story. She's fighting to be the best, yada, yada. But who the hell is Natty? We knew Natalya, and this new Natty, gimmick character has only really been seen in the indies and in Bloodsport and in AAA, where it's actually encouraged to be a little bit stiffer and to actually work and whatnot. And that's actually what the Heart Dungeon was. That's training. That is what being a Heart is. WWE, you can't fully express that, and you could not express that before. In this day and age, you can. We can see Natty fully grow into Natty Neihart, and hopefully one day being women's world champion Natty Neihart. So,
yeah, I think there is, like you said, they're just trying to, like, I understand that people weren't into it because it was a short match and whatever, and they're like, what are they doing? But it's like, again, people are just not focusing on, this is all about just trying to get us to believe Natalya is now Natty. So they're trying to build into that. And of course, like, I don't know, you don't have to be into it, but I'm into it so far. I just want to see where they go from here, because I think I want to see Natty against other people other than Maxine. Like, have her beat.
There's like Ivy Nile.
Yeah.
Wait. Did I hear you right? Did you say Natty to beat? Yeah, beat up Ivy Nile. Why not? Yeah.
Or
I'm sticking with
like, I don't know, have her in a feud with somebody else. Like, I don't know. Like, it's hard because she's like kind of in the mid card, and then there's so much going on right now because it's leading up to Mania. So it's hard to be like, oh, put her in a match against Rhea, you know. But like having her go toe to toe with someone like that and potentially even beating her would be, I think, like that establishes her to a completely different level. But that's not going to happen anytime soon because Rhea's in the chamber. Rhea's a tag team champion. Like that, she's not necessarily available to just have this like random, match unless there was some other like tournament. But I think it would be a little bit more successful if she was against somebody that kind of like was viewed differently than Maxine. You know what I'm saying?
I do, and I want to say this, Nathaniel. I think we are going to see this at some point. There's just an AJ Lee return kind of in the middle of that, you know.
Well, and I wonder how, because they're both heels. So,
but here's the thing. I feel that Natty's not really heel, more anti-hero. Becky Lynch is heel.
Yeah.
I mean, Natty Neidhart, it doesn't matter if it's innocent wheel Maxine Dupree or if it's Nia Jax. Like, she's going to be the same person at all times.
Yeah. So. I almost feel like Natty might have more people to work with on SmackDown with this character, but I don't know.
I want to see Natty go to NXT, SmackDown, AAA. Like, just that's the gimmick. She's not on. Like, just have her just go place and just.
Well, they said that there were people who were a free agent. Remember, they initially like Logan Paul was a free agent, so he was able to go wherever. And I forget who else they had that.
Well, he might be able to now since the Vision is dispersed.
I know, oh my God. The terrible luck of the Vision, man. Like
are they cursed? I mean. It feels like it.
And you know what's crazy is like Seth getting injured. I don't know that we know when he got injured. So I couldn't be like, oh, let's go watch that. But the two injuries to Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are so like crazy. Like, oh, he got a herniated disc from flipping a table. What?
Freak accident.
Pulls or tears a muscle by trying to break up a pin. You know, like.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about that? I saw him do that move and went, oh, what a unique way to break up a pin.
Yeah.
Because he did the arm. I was like, oh, great. Like, he just went one arm. Like, awesome. He should. But
yeah, I was just confused because I missed him. Like, I heard, like, I looked away for a second and I heard, oh, because I saw the pin. I was like, oh, it's not over yet. They'll break it up, you know? So I looked away for a second. And then when I looked back on the screen, I saw him, like, looking at his arm. And I was like, what? And then he rolls out and I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, no. I was so mad because I'm like, especially for us, you know, like we have been on the Bronson Reed train. We've been yelling about Bronson Reed for like, what, 2 or 3 years at this point, like telling everybody that watches our streams, like,
yeah,
Bronson Reed is legit. And so I was like, oh man, that sucks so bad. But
I know. And he just got back from an injury too.
Like, I know. Kind of. And it's like he's doing crazy shit. Like he jumped off the cage and he broke his ankle like really bad. And it's like, and then it's like he does virtually. His foot. I know. Oh God. Anyway. So we know that Finn Balor will be facing CM Punk at the Elimination Chamber for the World Heavyweight title. And we saw what he did last week where he was preventing his little goons, Dom and JD McDaddy, from beating up Punk. So clearly a switch has been flipped in his brain a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like he's still going in that direction because Dom was just like, hey, you know, I don't know what's going on, but like whatever. JD's like, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I've just been looking out for you. And Dom is like, where were you guys? You didn't even help me last week and I lost my match. And Finn's like, you guys were gone for weeks or months and no one helped me and I didn't complain. I didn't blame you. So maybe you should take some accountability and grow up. And I was like, Fergie.
Damn.
Fergie.
Damn.
So people were complaining I saw it was like, I don't know if it was Wrestle Ops or Wrestle Features. One of them posted about like, oh, the first time that we saw some tension between Dom and Finn was in the summer of 2023. And it's still going on. And I'm like, why are we complaining about this? Like, they're in a group together and they've been in a group together for years. So I feel like this is an instance where we should be okay with long-term storytelling. And this feels like a pure example of long-term storytelling that makes sense and was worth the wait. Because I think we are going to see, maybe something happens at the chamber. Maybe that's why Finn loses. But I think that I'm hoping we're going to get Finn versus Dom at Mania for the IC title. And Finn wins. I'm hoping that we're going to see like a change.
I can see that. We're definitely going to see some sort of change in Finn. You say, it says below, feud incoming. The feud's going to begin at Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Finn will not win that match because of Dom Mysterio's interference. I know it, and I want to see that be the catalyst to start their eventual Mania feud.
Yeah. I feel like that's the only thing that makes sense for both of them right now. And I think people would want to see it. Like, I think that the teases of their tension, the tease of Finn going back to the Balor Club era, like, people have been excited about that. And people love to hate Dom. So
they love to hate Dom.
If they can get a chance to get somebody back like Finn Balor and get excited about it, maybe we see the Demon, I don't know, and then they get to also boo the shit out of Dom. Like, it feels like the perfect thing to do. And I would be happier with that than what I was expecting post Mania, because I assumed, obviously, or post Elimination Chamber, I should say, I assumed that Finn's not winning. And I was like, okay, then what do they do with him after that? Because I don't want this to just be, Roman didn't want to show up for the month, so we need Punk to do something. And then they just
call them out
Finn for that, and then they do nothing with him after that. This at least gives them a plan, and it has like a legitimate thing for him to do, and it makes sense.
Gets him on the Mania card.
Yeah, and he deserves it. I'm sorry, but
he does.
Will it be Demon Finn? I don't know. I feel like Finn kind of I feel like he gives us mixed messages about it, and I do not blame him, because I think the last time that he really spoke about it in detail was when he was on Cody's podcast, and he was saying like he would love to bring back the Demon, but that the way that it became so manufactured and so based on like selling merch and stuff, with how often Vince was making him be the Demon, that it kind of took the spark away, or the origin of why he used the Demon in the indies or in NXT became lost, because it was all about like, we need to sell the mask, we need to sell the t-shirts, we need to sell this,
and Vince didn't get it. It's in proper booking hands.
Yeah, and so I'm hoping that if they do it, that it's because he wants to do it, and that they do it the right way, and that he wins. Because if he's not going to win, then don't bring out the Demon, dude. I can't do it. I can't deal with another loss as the Demon. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think Finn Balor can deal with another loss as the Demon. So
yeah,
I have a feeling if he comes out again, we got to win.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I hope so. This wasn't like a huge thing, but we do know that Obafemi is still in the midst of deciding which show he's going to be on, Raw or SmackDown. It feels like it's Raw at this point, because they're really going in on this Oba versus Rusev thing. We got another sign of it. I don't know, but it feels like they're really hammering this home. Like, I mean, there's stuff he can do on SmackDown, obviously, but it feels like they want this to happen.
This is me slapping me. This is me slapping me.
I need to get that clip. Yeah.
We need that clip back.
Yeah.
This match would go so hard. And this would be one of those where you just don't care. You just want to see these two dudes just beat the shit out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Just real graps.
I want to know like what their beef is, though. Like that's the thing.
Who's better? That's their beef.
Yeah.
Who's better? Who's the alpha?
You stared at me in a weird way backstage, so I don't like you. Like that's
no. You came up. You got my territory.
Yeah.
You got my you came in my circle.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna defend my honor.
You came to me in a threatening way, so I'm gonna take you out.
You came from behind the box.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever the fuck is in the box.
They've basically just have had him feuding with Kit Wilson on SmackDown, and like to
poor Kit Wilson.
I mean, shout out Kit Wilson because I do love Kitty, but like that is not a reason to keep Oba on SmackDown. You know, like
no.
This isn't meant to be what catapults him into the main event scene. It feels like we're probably getting him on Raw unless, I don't know, the box is connected to Oba, which people have thought, but
what?
Yeah, the box,
how would that no, I'm not saying you. I'm saying what's their logic?
I don't know. I think people are trying to figure out what it is, you know, because it's like at this point,
spoiler.
We don't.
I know what's in the box.
What is it?
I hate to...
My dick. I'm sorry.
No.
Do you not know that song?
No, I just didn't expect you to just blurt that out right now. That was awesome. Right.
It's my dick.
It's my dick in the box.
Yeah.
I think it's that Danhausen.
Oh, that's right. You did say that. Yeah.
That's my guess. That's my guess.
I mean, I don't know.
It's Danhausen.
I would be so disappointed.
Could you imagine if they just get a crowbar and they like unleash the box, whoever does it, like R-Truth, if we want to go that comedic with it?
What if it's R-Truth?
And it's fucking Danhausen just putting a curse on R-Truth.
I mean,
that would be awesome.
I guess.
Oh my God, please. Why am I not in the writer's room?
I'm almost funny. How dare you? How very dare you? I am very funny. I'm not almost funny. I am funny.
That was fucking awesome.
Anyway, so Brock Lesnar, Cowboy Brock Lesnar, who is also being represented by Paul Heyman again, he came out to little to no reaction because I'm going to say, as the show went on, this crowd sucked. I saw one guy that was getting like super defensive in Twitter replies because he was at the show last night. And people were like, what was up with that crowd? And he's in there and he was like, you had to be there because I was there and it was super loud. And people were like, bro, like you guys were really, really quiet. And he was like, fuck you. Like we were really loud. That show was bad. I was like, dude, it's just not that serious, guy. Like you might have been cheering, but like, why are you taking this so personally, bro? Like
I love when the fan, they're like, no, our crowd was great.
Yeah, it's like, calm down.
Crowd.
It's like, okay, the sound
so
was
funny.
Not on TV, okay, so you weren't loud enough. And I didn't necessarily expect Brock to get like a super loud reaction because they did pre-announce his appearance and he is a bad guy, so like people aren't gonna freak out. But we are back to, at least for the time being, Paul speaking on Brock's behalf, which I was totally into that. And he let us know that Brock is gonna do whatever he wants. And he will be appearing at these shows. And it looks like he might be appearing at as many, if not more, Raws than Roman Reigns between now and Mania. And he is going to have...
That's awesome.
I know, that's insane, right?
I love wrestling in 2026. When Brock Lesnar is making more appearances than Roman Reigns.
And don't tell me Roman's got to be home because he got kids. Brock has a fucking farm. Okay? He's got shit to do. Did you see that farmer's hand he had? He out there working in the field, bro. He got stuff to do. But he said basically that Brock is going to be having an open challenge for Mania. So does this mean that he's just going to go out on the night of WrestleMania and be like, okay, whoever wants to face me is coming out? Or are we going to have like an advertised match? Like, are we going to find out who he's facing beforehand, or is it happening?
No, I see his thing. I want to see a true open challenge.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Yeah. But like, who do you think it could be?
My guess off the rip right now is Oba.
Yeah. But see, like, isn't that like, I don't know. Like, I guess if we wait, the thing I think that's crazy, I mean, I guess if he starts facing Rusev, then like it's not crazy to think that like Oba doesn't have a Mania match this year because like he did just debut. So like he doesn't have to have a Mania match. But yeah, it feels like we're gonna figure it out kind of like as Mania gets closer. If they really are going to do an open challenge, we're just gonna have to look and be like, okay, who's not on the card? That's obviously going to be on the card. And maybe that's the person. Which this gives me hope that it will not be LA Knight. Because people were like,
that's my hope. No, yeah. that's mine. I don't think LA Knight would be the answering an open challenge from Brock Lesnar. Like if they're going to do some sort of match, it would be set up because that is a marquee match, whether you like it or not. Those are two big names in the wrestling world. You're going to want to promote that. With the open challenge, I see more of like an Obafemi, maybe what they did last year with Joe Hendry, and it's a TNA guy.
I think LA Knight might win the Chamber. I'm not saying he will, but I feel like he's not a bad one to win the Chamber. So, because him versus Drew, I don't see that being as a bad thing.
That would be a great match, and honestly, it would be the best time to crown LA Knight WWE champion.
Well, and I think people are over Cody. We obviously know that it's not going to be Trick. Trick's not winning. Javon's not winning. And so that leaves Randy. It basically leaves Randy and LA Knight. So I feel like it might be one of them, but like I feel this is the time to make it LA Knight. But I don't know. But anyway, it's going to be interesting to see this, and I really do hope that they follow through with like having a proper open challenge because I feel like if we're going to have to deal with seeing Brock Lesnar on the screen, at least make it interesting. Anyway, but speaking of Trick Williams is over, brother. Okay.
Whoop that Trick.
He was all over TV yesterday, mind you. Like the ladies of daytime TV love him. Sports radio on ESPN loves him. And then he had a spot during a commercial break on Raw. That crowd was so loud. But this is the thing. The reason I wanted to talk about Trick, other than I love Trick, is I'm so fascinated, I guess, with like how his call up has gone, because I think he was another name where people were like, why didn't Trick get called up? Like a year before he did. And people thought he should have been called up at the same time as like Carmelo, or maybe at the same time as like Pretty Deadly. And we were like, no, he needs more time. And so he spent like an extra year or two in NXT because they also want to explore with him as being a heel, because he hadn't been a heel. But they needed him to kind of like establish himself as a solo guy, because for most of his time in NXT, he was connected to Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes is gone now. So like, who's Trick Williams without Carmelo? And so he was somebody that I was a little bit concerned about going to the main roster and like how they were going to respond to him. Not because he's not fun or anything, but like when you look at how the crowd reacted to Carmelo, I was like, oh, like Melo was big in NXT and the crowd on SmackDown were not interested. They are more so now, but like with Trick, it was immediate. And it's like, I really feel like it's his infectious personality and that entrance music. Like
when you have something like that with the whoop that Trick. Like
it's inevitable. Like we've been talking about the impact of a really good entrance song and how that can be one of the biggest reasons why someone gets over. I mean, look at Kit Wilson. Like he's been on the main roster for 2-3 years at this point. And although Pretty Deadly have been very like up and down on the main roster because of injuries, there was a point where they were on TV every single week and people weren't cheering like yes boy at them, people didn't really care except for me.
No, they're only you.
But now that Kit has this catchy theme song and he's now using toxic as a catchphrase, the crowd is behind him. And it's like, and that's all it took for Trick Williams, which I think is really cool.
It's really cool. It's nice to see Trick getting over in this way, you know. And I don't know where he goes from this. I would like to see him continue to interact with guys like Sami Zayn.
Oh my god, his stuff with Sami, I am so here for it because he's just like trolling him.
Absolute troll.
This is what I want with Sami, right? Because you have this moment with Sami where he's like all pissed off and like Cody's in his face being like, you're just a loser because you get in your own way, you dumb idiot, like, you know, whatever. And then everyone's like all excited. They were cheering like for Sami going off, right? Like that he was so angry. And then the second he starts apologizing to Cody, I don't know if you heard it on SmackDown, they start booing because they're like, oh my god, we are so sick of this shit with Sami. You know, because like he's always trying to be the good guy.
Oh, I heard it. Sarah, I heard it. I was part of it.
Oh.
I got up. I was like, oh, come on.
I know, because it was like, stop being a people pleaser. You know?
That's why we need to do a SmackDown breakdown.
And that's why I think it's like so refreshing to have Trick just like in the background, just laughing at him, being like, you're such an idiot, you know? Like we need somebody saying that because that's what we're thinking. Because it's like,
seriously,
we love Sami, but like this stuff is so dumb. Like it's just so stupid. So yeah, I really want to see that continue because imagine Trick versus Sami at Mania. Like it's not something that's gonna like sell tickets, but like I'd be into it.
No, it'd be a good match. That would be a very good undercard match for WrestleMania.
A good debut Mania match too.
Great. That would be something like a night one.
Yeah.
A night one or an early night two. Get the crowd popping.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
For sure. All right. Then we got to the main event match, which was for the last spot in the women's elimination chamber. Raquel Rodriguez versus, was it Kairi Sane and Io Sky, right? Yeah.
It was.
And I don't know about you, but to me, this felt obvious. I felt like it was going to be Raquel because Kairi, I was like, Kairi's not going to be in the match because Asuka's already in it. And Io's not going to be in the match because Rhea's already in it. And they don't want to have to deal with them having to fight each other. So it's going to be Raquel. Not even just that, but Raquel getting in and then competing for potentially going after the SmackDown title makes an interesting dynamic in Judgment Day. Also, but yeah, Raquel won. I was very happy about it. I kind of like Raquel versus Jade. Also,
I'm a fan of that. I would. Who is Jordan Grace in the chamber? Or am I
no? It's Rhea, Tiffany, Raquel, Alexa. Oh my god, I can't remember. Hold on.
What if we got Alexa versus Jade?
Asuka and Kiana James.
Okay, well, no, it's good. Here's my thing with Alexa. Mm-hmm. If you do Alexa versus Jade at WrestleMania, Charlotte has to sit on the sidelines while her best friend challenges for a championship at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
If you want to build, like, this is what I wanted from the get-go when Charlotte and Alexa formed an alliance. Mm-hmm. I wanted something like this to end up being a predicament where Alexa has a spotlight and Charlotte can't. She can't stand it. Hates it. Is so jealous. And then boom, there's you could do a year-long feud with Alexa and Charlotte with this. You could with this. And that's what one Charlotte needs, but also Alexa needs too. Yeah. Why not give Alexa Bliss a WrestleMania moment, challenging for a title at WrestleMania after not wrestling for 2 years and coming back? Like, that's rewarding.
Yeah.
For a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, I feel this is not a match that I'm like necessarily excited about. Like, you know, Jade is fine. I think that her turning heel was the right move, but like I'm just not moved by any of these women that can face her. So I think that whoever wins, like they really need to build that story up to like get me interested, because I'm definitely way more interested in Liv versus Stephanie. So it's like they have catching up to do, because I feel like right now they're on a new level, and Jade, obviously whoever's going to face Jade, like they're behind because she's not going to necessarily have history with that person unless it's Tiffany. But I don't know that Tiffany wins the chamber when she's won Money in the Bank. Like I don't know.
They would. Do you think they would run Jade Tiffany in Vegas?
They might, because
that's where makes
sense. You know, she won the title off Tiffany, so Tiffany would want to seek redemption. But I don't know if it's the biggest or the best decision. But like I said, like it's like hard to say out of any of these girls, like who makes sense for Jade at this moment. The one that makes the most sense is Tiffany because of their history together. But I guess that doesn't have to be the basis of who wins, but they definitely will have to try and establish something if it's anyone but Tiffany, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. Hopefully it's a good match. You know, the War Games matches and stuff this year were not that great, or not this year, but you know what I mean? They weren't great. So I would like to think that I'm hoping that the Elimination Chamber matches will be better. All right, and then we get to the end of the show, which was all about AJ Styles. He comes out and he has a speech. His family is there. His kids are there.
Oh my God, this was so beautiful. This was amazing.
It was really cool that he got this moment, and then, you know, throughout the night they kept showing the arrivals of people that are super connected to him throughout his career. What'd
you think of Abyss coming out of the boiler room?
I loved that. And then Kazarian, like I was kind of bummed that people, I think the crowd was just like dumb at this point, because there was like no reaction to Abyss or Kazarian, and I'm like, guys, do you not realize, like, to me, I'm sitting there and being like, you guys do not understand how fucking crazy it is that this is happening. Like, you just have to go back like 10-15 years, and the tribalism that you think is bad now between AEW and WWE, it was on a new level with TNA WWE.
Oh my God.
Like, the fact that AJ Styles went to WWE still like
no, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And spent more time in WWE than he did in TNA, technically.
Yeah. And then we have fucking Abyss like on the staff, so he's like producing matches.
TNA runs WWE. People really got to realize that early TNA, going back and watching those matches, it sets up like that's who's running WWE now.
I know we got Bobby Roode, but they also had Anderson and Gallows.
That was big. What'd you think of that? Bringing them back? They're not under contract.
I know,
and they came back. That was a big move.
I thought it was. I liked that they agreed to it, because I'm pretty sure Anderson was not happy about being released because he was injured when they decided to cut him. So I was glad that, I don't know if they have mended fences or not, or if this was strictly like, yeah, I'll show up because AJ's my guy. I loved that. I was happy to see them there. So I thought it was really cool that they highlighted that. I love that they gave him time on the mic and like allowed his family to be there and kind of let him do his retirement like the way that he wanted to, which did include, you know, putting the vest and the gloves down. And then we got the surprise of a lifetime, I guess. Even AJ didn't know. Undertaker comes out and lets him know that he is going to be a headliner for the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame, which I thought that was really cool, because it is not often that a wrestler that retires or, you know, is forced into retirement because of injury and is obviously in Hall of Famer gets put in like immediately. I mean, he doesn't even have to wait 2 months to get into the Hall of Fame.
No, it was like 2 weeks, technically.
Yeah. So that was really cool. And I loved that it was, again, another surprise. I also saw a tweet. I don't know if you saw it, but what the like, what is it? Not like the hidden message, but like what it means for the Undertaker to be the one to like tell people that they're going into the Hall of Fame. I loved that, because they were like, usually when
I have it up.
Like you do. Yeah.
I have it up. I'm gonna there it is. So no, where'd you go? All right. So the Undertaker, saw it on Twitter. I picked the wrong one, you idiot. So the Undertaker now he obviously was the first person to announced Stephanie McMahon getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Now the next one being AJ Styles. And what you're alluding to, the gimmick of him being the one to announce people into the Hall of Fame. Fitting because Undertaker, you're going to your piece. Your piece is in the Hall of Fame. And I love the line that he used, that when you see me, it usually means you're gone. But when you see me, it means that you're going. And I think that's a great way. That's a great role for the Undertaker to have now in the WWE. He's already connected with the podcast and, booking Triple R. But this type of thing is a very wholesome role that he can still be on camera. He doesn't need to be the dead man. He can be the American Badass, which...
Thank God. I love it.
I mean...
That's my favorite version of The Undertaker.
Can we use fucking Rollin' by Limp Bizkit?
I know.
Why are we using Kid Rock?
I know.
We're going to bleep out half the song.
I know.
At least in Rollin', you keep rolling. Oh my God.
Good. Yeah. So I think that's cool. He's kind of, I don't know, maybe this is like his ambassador role, kind of. I don't know, but it feels very reminiscent of like how they go about the NFL Hall of Fame, where they like send someone to your door and whatever. So I thought that was cool. And I think AJ and Stephanie being like the headliners is pretty cool. And I agree with I think it was like Russell Features that said it, where people were kind of complaining, I guess, or whatever, about maybe putting him in the Hall of Fame too early. And I agreed with his response, saying you have to do it when you can, because I would rather feel they put him in too early than regret or get mad that they put him in too late. You know what I mean? Because there's so many people that are not in the Hall of Fame that people are mad about because they're dead now. So they don't even get to be put in the Hall of Fame when they're alive. And so it's like, I'd rather AJ Styles be put in too early to some people than like waiting 10 years. And then what if something terrible happened? You know what I mean? And it's like, that feels silly. And this just feels like the best way to honor him during a weekend that, a lot of people were hoping that if he was going to retire, that it was going to be at Mania and not at the Rumble. But he's still going to be there, and you're still going to see him all weekend long. So, seems like the best of both worlds to me.
It seems fitting that he retired at the Rumble.
Yeah, and he spoke about it. I mean, he said, like, it's the show that I debuted on, so it felt fitting to be the show that I ended it on, So, I mean, it was his choice. So, that's the thing, is, like, I would be more upset about it if it was something he was forced into, and it wasn't something that he decided. Because I feel like if you are at a point where you can decide your retirement, I would like to think that the company would be on their side enough to allow them to kind of decide when and where that is. Mm-hmm. So if AJ said, hey, I want to retire at the Rumble, and it just happened to be in Saudi and people are not happy about it, well, that's what he wanted. So it's like, I can respect that. It's not like Triple H was like, by the way, you're doing it here and you got to do it because I said so. Like, that's not what happened. So, but anyway, that was Raw.
That was Raw. That was Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Mm-hmm. And we'll be back on Thursday to talk about everything else that's going on in the Wrestleverse. As I just put in a banner for Thursday's episode asking, has WrestleMania lost its luster a little bit?
I'm excited to talk about that.
As AJ Styles put it, and why it was more sentimental for him to retire at the Royal Rumble rather than WrestleMania. So we'll talk about that. We both have definitely opinions and feelings about that, so we'll be bringing that up. I mean, NXT's on right now. It's 8:30. I got to turn that on. We got Dynamite tomorrow. Sarah, I'm going to be talking about Dynamite, or wanting to talk about AEW. And then the promotion on my head. That's right, Limitless Wrestling. I got to tell you about Limitless, Sarah, the main event, because it really felt like last night I'm watching like a bigger story evolve than just the, a story of the championship and, whatnot. Like, it feels like something's really cooking in Limitless, and I'm excited to watch it. Like, I'm already trying to find a way to get to the Bristles Brothers Bash or whatever it is in Portland on March 27th. So all that and more will be discussed on Thursday. In the meantime, to keep up with everything, you got to hit that subscribe button and bell notification to know every time that we post, getting that YouTube channel resurrected from when we're not live talking about wrestling. You can see clips of us talking about it and whatnot. And you can see Sara talking about all the other wrestling topics over No Nights Off Show. TikTok. We're over on TikTok as well. And then follow our own personal social medias at SMarshXO on Twitter for Sara and at Patty Pitts, Paddy Pitts, over on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as well. That's all we got. We will see you on Thursday for a super show. Thank you all for tuning in. God bless. Remember that you could do it. Just try. Peace.